This is Jamey Boyum in Longview with Director of Longview Developmental Services, Michael Shirley. How you doing, Michael?
Doing good.
Good. Just stopped in to check. Okay, I'll talk to you later. No, wait, we do have a thing to talk about. We actually do have a thing to talk about, and that is sidewalks in Longview. How's the whole thing going? Everybody seems to want on the sidewalk.
Correct. Sidewalks are a hot topic. Since we engaged our community with our comprehensive plan back in 2018, that was a huge topic. Why do we not have sidewalks? How do we get sidewalks? And so when we adopted our Unified Development Code, that was one of the things that we did, is required developers to install sidewalks. Also, the bond package, sidewalks were a big part of that. Also, we had a large grant a number of years ago for the trail project that's finishing up. So sidewalks, trails, pedestrian infrastructure has been a big request from our citizens.
Okay, and I guess TxDOT is also helping out with this.
Absolutely. So because of our emphasis on sidewalk and pedestrian infrastructure, TxDOT has heard that and they understand that it's a priority for us. So they're also leveraging their resources and their discretionary dollars. They're installing sidewalks around town as well. And as far as any project that we do, George Ritchie, for instance, if you go out there, it has sidewalks. It actually has dedicated bike lanes. So they hear that that's a community need and a community desire, not just from a recreational standpoint, but just a basic transportation as another mode of transportation for citizens to get around for connectivity.
Okay, and I guess the key with this whole thing is it is for connectivity, not necessarily residential neighborhoods so much, right?
Correct. It's a little bit of everything. And if you look at our trail system, we were able to leverage TxDOT grants for that, because even though it's not along streets, it does provide that connectivity from residential areas, traffic generators, businesses where people can get to and from work, to and from bus stops, to and from parks, trailheads. So it's part of that interconnected network.
Okay. And then also recently, you want developers on new properties to go ahead and install a sidewalk, but you're working with them a little bit, right?
Correct. So in the implementation of our sidewalk requirements over the last 2 years, some of the feedback we've gotten, because development, sometimes we'll have development occur mid-block, like on the Loop 281 or in commercial areas. And so as part of those requirements, those developers are required to install their portion of the sidewalk in front of their business. And so what we've seen is we have segments of sidewalks, not complete networks. And so some of the feedback we're getting is, well, why are we building these sidewalks to nowhere? And so we're not changing policy. We're not changing the requirements that developers don't have to install their fair share of sidewalk. What we're doing is giving them an option to where, if they're mid-block or if they have site constraints, say they're going to have to build a retaining wall, or if they don't have a curb and gutter street and they've got drainage ditches, it's kind of hard to build a sidewalk over a drainage ditch. So we're giving them the option. They still have to pay their fair share, but they can pay a fee in lieu of constructing the sidewalk. And so there's certain criteria in the application that they'd have to fill out, but the criteria is very, very basic. Pretty much any of them could meet it. And then they'll just pay their fair share to the city. We'll take that money and we'll put it in a dedicated account. That money will only be spent on sidewalk infrastructure. But what we'll do is we'll take those dollars, and over a couple of years where that amount will build up, and the city, based on our plan for sidewalks, will be able to go and install segments of sidewalks. So you won't just have one piece, you'll have a full segment of connectivity, of providing that connectivity.
All right. Well, good deal. It sounds like, residents will be able to do some walking real soon.
Absolutely.
Nice level places. All right, good deal. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's it.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
I know you got stuff to do, and I appreciate your time as always. And we'll have more later on KLTV 7 News and KLTV.com. And hey, take a hike.